Let's pray. Dear Lord Jesus, King Jesus, we just lift your name up tonight in this place, Lord. Father, I lift up this evening the light to you, Jesus. I ask you, Lord, to just come down into your house, Father. Let us feel your presence here tonight, Lord. Father, I ask you, Jesus, to speak through me and Zach and Bryce and the music, Father. Lord, touch each and every one of our hearts that have made it here tonight, Lord. Father, just let us leave here closer to you than we were when we came, Lord. No matter what has happened to us today or how our day has gone, Father, let us just rest in your presence, Lord. Just feel you here tonight. In your name we pray, Jesus. All right. So, like Bryce said, tonight is about how we fall away and come back. And Israel did that a lot. Pretty much the whole book of Judges. Yep. And so tonight, I'll be telling you guys about one of those judges. He's the second judge that is talked about in the book of Judges, Ehud. This guy who was called by God to save Israel. And so this is well after Joshua had conquered the promised land, and he had done what God had called him to do, and he died. And now Israel has been living in the promised land for years, and they have fallen away from God and turned back to God and fallen away from God and turned back, and it's just this pattern that keeps happening. And so when they fall away from God and start worshiping the idols and all these evil things, they tend to be conquered by a foreign people, if not more than one. And so this time, the kingdom of Moab has conquered Israel. And the king that conquered them, he is a very heavy-set man.
Yes!
And he wouldn't be able to sit in one of these chairs. He'd need probably three of you. And so, Israel has been under this king's rule for 18 years. 18 long years. And they finally start crying out to God, and God hears them crying out to him. And so he rises up another judge, calls Ehud, to come up and save Israel from Moab and judge Israel. And so Ehud, this guy, he's the guy that's going to take basically their offering to the king of Moab. And so obviously there was a few people that did this, but he was one of them. You know, this king is really fat. So but anyway,
Lay off the fat jokes, kid.
I wondered if I'd slide it under the radar. But anyway,
You did not.
so Ehud and these couple other guys bring the offering to this king, basically to appease him so they would still live. And when he brings the offering to this king, the king is sitting in his quarters, like it describes as like a cool closet where he was comfortable and would be relaxing. And so Ehud, is there with the other guys. They give the offering, and Ehud turns around and faces the idols that are in the king's chambers, and he says, "O king, I have a message for you, a secret message for you." And so the king says, "Really? Okay, well, everybody leave. Come and tell me this message." Well, Ehud had a plan. Before, he had secretly created this dagger-like sword. It says it was only a unit long, about the length of your elbow to your wrist, and double-edged. And he made it to fit on his right hip because it was left-handed, which was kind of different back then.
Satan.
And so Ehud tells the king, I have this secret message for you. So the king sends everyone else away. Everyone else leaves and the doors are shut. And Ehud goes up to the king and says, I have a message for you from God. And he pulls the blade out off of his hip with his left hand and shoves it in the king's belly. It says so far that the hilt was sucked in by the fat. Just enveloped. And so this king, just taken by complete surprise, dies fairly quickly. And it says that his guts starts coming out and starts spilling out of his wound onto the floor. So you can just imagine this picture, this dagger-like sword
Trying not to.
sticking into this huge man with his insides just falling out. And so
Anyone hungry?
Ehud definitely gave him God's message. And so Ehud goes back, locks the doors, closes them, and leaves. And the servants of the king are like, oh, well, doors are locked, the king must be wanting privacy or whatever. And so in there, basically waiting to see why the doors are locked, Ehud escapes perfectly fine, nobody even noticed. By the time the servants start to worry and open the doors and find the king lying there dead on the floor, Ehud is long gone. And so Ehud gets back to the hills where the Israelites were living at this time, and it says when he gets there, he blows a loud trumpet to let everyone know he has come back victorious. And it gathers everyone and says, let us go and defeat Moab, defeat our enemies, for God has given them over to us. We've already won, let's go defeat them. And it says that all the Israelites ran out and they slaughtered the Moab. They slaughtered the Moabites. Thank you. And so it says that they killed around 10,000 of them. Not a single man escaped. And so it's just another example of how Israel has fallen away and cried out to God in their misery and their punishment of falling away. And God, having love and mercy, then says, okay, brings them back up. How often do we do that? How often do we fall away and come back up, and then turn away, and then come back? I just want to put that in you guys' hands. That's what the praise team.